Hello friends, this is Chandekar, editor of Metalworld, and we are here for an exclusive conversation with Mr. Subodh Panchal. Mr. Subodh Panchal is owner and founder of Kastwel Foundries in Ahmedabad. He is also past president of IIF, and today also Mr. Panchal is very active and he is associated with many international bodies in foundries. So now, welcome Mr. Panchal on our exclusive show of Face to Face for our YouTube channel.
Thank you, Mr. Chandekar. You are always innovative and doing something new, which others have also has to learn from you.
No.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I am available.
Welcome on our show, Mr. Panchal. So, sir, my first question is, I want to hear from you, what is the present status of Indian foundry industry?
See, foundries today, all over India is doing extremely good. All are full with the orders. And in the near future also, this trend will continue. If you want figures, that is in 2021-22, India produced about 12.44 million tons of the castings, which is about 10 years year-on-year growth. If we talk about in terms of the amount, that was about 4 billion mark. Indian foundry industry has crossed $4 billion mark last year. And this also will continue in coming next year or a couple of years. For the figures, these figures I think are important to reflect the status of the industry.
And sir, how does it compare with Chinese figures? I mean,
it is nowhere
with China?
It is nowhere comparable because China has reached about 40 million tons, whereas ours is the 12.5 million.
Yeah.
So almost 3 to 4 times more.
Okay. But still we are growing.
And we are going, no doubt.
And general environment in the industry would be
yeah, because because of the development project by the government of India and Prime Minister Mr. Modi, infrastructure, then railways, airports. There will be a boom in the demand of the cement and steel industries, which will be percolated in a foundry industry also.
Okay, so
plus vehicle, there is a demand in two-wheelers as well as four-wheelers, and tractor industry will also continue. Okay. Which are the main customer segments for the foundry industries.
So overall, you are saying the environment in the foundry industry, foundry sector seems to be okay.
Very good. Yeah, it will be very good, obviously.
Okay. And how do you see the future, sir? Say short term as well as long term.
See, compared to China, we are far behind. That is true. But we are the second largest, and we have a lot of unexplored field to increase our volume. I'll just give you one example of the GIFA. Next month, there will be a GIFA which takes place every 4 years at Düsseldorf, Germany. It will be from 12th June to 16th June in Düsseldorf. Now, if we have a look at the participants in a GIFA from China and India, there are 4 fairs. We will talk about just only GIFA, which is a foundry raw material and equipment fair. And another one is a NewCast, which is exclusively for the foundries, where foundries display their castings. Now, if we compare the figures as on very recent figures, as published by the authorities, total in GIFA, there are total 832 exhibitors, out of which China is having 129, whereas India has 72 only. NewCast, which is a Chinese, which is a foundry fair exclusive, Chinese foundry is a 223, very large number, bigger than anything in the past. Against 223, India has only 35 foundries are displaying there. So there is a vast difference. So that way, and that altogether, there are 4 fairs. Altogether, if we compare, Chinese companies are 520 as against India's 161. But yes, still India has an increase in a number so far exhibitors concerned, which was not there 1 or 2 GIFA before.
So you have been visiting and participating in GIFA for a lot of years. And what has been your experience? Are we today, if you see European market is stagnated. I mean, in general, I'm saying European economy is stagnated. And so, is there what is the purpose? What can be the purpose? What is the takeaway from such fairs?
See, you are right, partly. I'm visiting GIFA since 1984, and I have seen the golden period of the GIFA where people from all over the world used to come to see the development in a technology, plus with their shopping list for expansion, etc.
Yeah.
But as you rightly said, recently Europe is also in a trouble. Their economy is also not that booming, and for that very purpose, GIFA, which is about started in 1950, now the authorities have started to plan to organize GIFA outside Germany.
Yeah, yeah.
In Bangkok, 2 years back, they had started. Now, one more GIFA in Bangkok will be this year in September. Then another new one is they have also started GIFA in Egypt. They have announced. So that means what? They have realized that Europe economy is not very rosy. So now they have also taking plan to go to the doors of the customers.
Okay, okay, that is good. And if Europe is stagnated, then where can be the other export destinations for Indian foundries, sir? You think MENA region, or maybe northeastern, North America, North Africa, and Middle East, or maybe other regions are prospective for Indian foundry, Indian castings?
No, main buyers still will be the US and Europe. Only thing we have to plan to take a chunk of pie from the Chinese. China has also problems. They have started problems. Last week I attended on a virtual meeting on BRICS countries in Beijing. They also have energy problem. And first time in many years, their bar of the growth is shortened for engineering industries, ferroalloys industries, foundry industries, etc. First time it has happened in last 10 years because of the shortage of the energy. So we should be well planned. With a proper planning and vision, we should try to get our share. If China is producing 40 million tons and we are producing 12 million tons, that means we can at least have a growth of 50% more, taking away from the Chinese share.
Yeah, yeah. So everywhere there is China as our competitor.
China is competitor for everywhere because they have certain plus point plus government policies which no other country can afford.
Okay, okay. And sir, you don't see Africa or this
No,
region
see,
as
for
prospective?
our, very frankly, our is not an undeveloped nations anymore. We are developed. We have gone beyond even developing nations. And for us, Africa, entire foundry industry, yes, I'm forecasting that such type of business will go away from even from India after 10, 20 years and will settle in Africa because this is a highly labor incentive industry. In China also now, many youngsters don't prefer to work this kind of industries, and that's why their growth is also came to the saturation point. Similarly, in India also it will happen after 10, 20 years, and then African countries will be the only place to start this kind of industries.
Yeah, yeah.
But so far demand is concerned, if you are asking me for the export, our export market for us, it is not Africa so far.
Okay, okay. Sir, you are saying the environment in the Indian industry is good. You also see short-term as well as long-term prospects for Indian foundry industry as good. So, what is that foundry industry needs from the government? Any policy changes or any support that they need from the government?
Well, if you ask me why China is competitive, because China using average 2 rupees per unit power they're getting from government, whereas in India it is from 8 to 10 rupees per unit. So for this kind of labor-oriented industry, Power is the main source, energy. If government can do something, or even in some states like in Maharashtra or other, some one or two more states, some reduction in power tariff is there if you operate in a night. That should be made available uniformly to everywhere. Then only we can compete.
Okay, so we are looking for a level playing field, sort of.
Of
With
course.
okay, okay. Sir, you are also pioneer in organizing big fairs in India. Recently held IFEX was organized at Gandhinagar under your leadership, and it was fantastic. We all visited, and so what is that you want to tell to the foundry sector? How to visit a fair or how to participate in a fair? Maybe Indian fair or a overseas fair. How should we look at these things?
See, one thing, suppose we talk about the international fair like GIFA. It takes place every 4 years. But mine was the first company to participate in GIFA in 1998. Thereafter, many Indian foundries are participating, and today the number has crossed about 160 or so. But see, participating in any international fair does not mean that you will come back with a bags full of the orders. It will never happen.
Yeah, yeah.
If you have a budget to spend, and if you want to make your presence felt in Indian, international market, you should participate as a expenses only, but don't expect anything in a return quickly.
Okay, okay.
But the advantage of this kind of fair, as I said, my company is also participating since 1998. Your presence is felt in an international market.
Yeah.
Whatever their after fair or during the fair, whatever the catalogs are published or whatever data are available on the net, that can lead you that can give you the leads of the inquiries, and that way tangential benefit you can have it. Number two, there are two types of people going to visit. One are the visitors, and second is the exhibitors themselves. Both of them should study the website of the GIFA well in advance. They are such a large fair, one cannot expect they will visit every stand or every hall. There are about 12 halls, big halls. So you should do a lot of homework before going to GIFA.
Yeah.
And which first, see, there are 5 days fair, 12 to 16 means 5 days, yes. So you should have first 3 days, you should visit your targeted companies, which you have identified in advance. There is a very good system which called a CATE system, KATE, which is a computerized system there in a hall also. So even after reaching there, if you want to find some exhibitors, say for your jacket, you will get the list print out immediately, or you will get immediately.
Okay.
Companies present in a fairground, which hall, which stand number, etc. But this is, in my opinion, it's a late exercise. Once you get the list, and if you think and if you start planning, it will 1 or 2 days will lost in that. Instead of that, you should take everything on Excel sheet in advance, all-wise, category-wise. And if you identify, okay, out of the 1,000, 1,200 exhibitors, you want for your first priority is the 20 or 30 companies, then you should finish meeting with them. And then only you can start looking here or there. Otherwise, they are so big, get identified a person, a particular stand in a hall is also difficult, a lot of jig-jacking. You must have everything ready in your hand, number one. So far as Indian exhibitions are concerned, it is more or less, renewing your public relationship. Of course, it helps because in new companies, young engineers join, young purchase people join, and if your presence is there, you can talk with them and develop the intimacy. So this is also advantage.
Yeah. So what you are saying is when you are visiting international exhibitions, you should not expect anything very quickly or instantly.
Never,
Sustained presence is needed. That's what
never,
you are saying.
never.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, sir, anything else you want to share
No,
with the
actually, I have organized about 5 India days during the GIFA. And
Okay.
India was the only country who had organized this kind of activity in GIFA, Germany.
Great.
So here there should be a collective approach by the associations or the body which are taking care of the interests of the foundrymen to invite the foreign speakers, to invite the buyers, etc. So that will give a big boost to the or satisfaction to the Indian visitors and foundrymen.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Subodh Panchal. It was a very nice and very absorbing conversation. You have talked about the present situation in the Indian foundry industry, which is good, and you have also talked about how to visit, how to participate in domestic as well as international trade exhibitions. That was also very insightful of you because of your vast experience in this sector. Thank you very much.
And for your information, I had made a presentation about 15 days back how to maximize the benefits of the GIFA for the
Great.
exhibitors as well as visitors. And that might be available on YouTube or link or whatsoever.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Panchal.
Thank you and hope to see you at GIFA.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.